Betty, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hubba hubba.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Zedosgang podcast. This is episode 139. Yes, 139. Yes, so we're getting to the mid hundreds. It's going to be interesting when we get to 200, if we get, and when we get to 200. So, looking forward to it. How are you guys? Great. Let's get on with the show. Okay. The first topic, is a film trailer called The Birthday Cake. Guys, what did you make of this?
I think Val Kilmer got work. That's the first thing I thought when I saw it, which is always good. It looks like it's got a good cast. It's by a first-time director, Jimmy something. I'm going to butcher this guy's name. Giannopoulos. There we go. I knew it was something like that. But I think it's a good kind of mob kind of film kind of thing. Did it have Ray Liotta in there?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it had Ray Liotta in there. There we go. Great casting, and it's got fucking what's his name?
Ewan McGregor.
No. Jimmy Diaz is in there, so I'm in.
Oh, another controversial guy.
Yeah, another controversial guy.
I am so fucking shocked that I didn't realize it was Val Kilmer until you said it.
It's Val Kilmer.
Busted up, right? Val Kilmer's got work, and I was like, was Val Kilmer in this trailer? And then I realized who he was. I was like, holy shit.
Yep. He's back. He's back.
Wow.
Is Val Kilmer in the newest Top Gun film?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not looking like that, I hope. I'm like, look, if it's just acting and it's just for a role and you don't really look like that, please, Mr. Kilmer, ignore me. But if you look like that in Top Gun, you're not melted, man.
Oh, good.
The disrespect you give Mr. Kilmer. He's Batman, you know.
No, apparently there's multiple Batmen.
Yeah. There's so many Batmen. If he doesn't show up in The Flash, I'll be upset. I'm joking.
Because with the most recent news, they'll probably have Val Kilmer back as Batman.
Yeah.
Sure, he's available. I think The Birthday Cake, when I watched it looked very Cipriano's-esque. Had a good cast, but the only kind of actor that was missing from that kind of a film was Christopher Walken.
Chris. Yeah. I'm gonna try to do the accent, but it's very mob. It's a mob film.
Mm-hmm. I think. Gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll say. I think, jokes aside, actually looking at the trailer and thinking about it properly, how can I put it? It looks low budget, but when I say that, I mean it looks like intentionally low budget. Like the director went out of his way to be like, I am not going to spend stupid amounts of money on this. I want it to look a certain way. I want it to have a certain feel to it.
Looks like a 70s film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was going for that rough edge.
Yeah, it's got that very kind of 70s gangster. I can almost see like a Walter Hill type vibe to it.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really have much to say about it because when it comes to gangster films, I don't really enjoy them. There's only a couple that I do enjoy, and that's what's the Scorsese film? Goodfellas. I really like Goodfellas because it turns into a comedy at the end. It's just flips itself on its head. I love it. I love it so much.
For me, I just feel there's been a gap in the market for this kind of film in a long time. Yeah, we've got Gangster Film of the Week. That's from the UK, and you know,
we do?
various other. Yeah, we do, like all the time, man. They're straight to DVD, like another
Craig Farr-based ones.
Yeah, or like the Fall of the Foot Soldier and shit like that, man. Rise. There we go. I actually kind of know someone that's in that, but anyway, yeah.
Someone who's in it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But yeah, this trailer kind of stood out mainly because of the star power that was in there for me. We haven't had this kind of movie in a long, long time. Not since Johnny Depp did the old.
Yeah, that film's good.
Not Donnie Brasco,
no.
Black Mass. Yeah, Black Mass. Yeah,
that's
there we
good.
go. So, yeah, sign me up. I'm in.
There's 2 gangster films. Yeah, it looks. I hope it's decent. That's the only thing, because you can't tell with gangster films. Actually, you can tell with gangster films with trailers, but this one looks fairly serviceable. Are there any more to say on that? Anyone?
Like you said, it looks intentionally low budget, but although I did look into it quickly, it apparently looks like an original story, but it looks very much like something you can imagine adapted from a stage play.
Yeah.
Witty dialogue and that. So it'll be interesting, but you can imagine it's just going to be something that you need to watch. You can just watch low key.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Okay, on to the next film. And so, The Protégé. This is a Martin Campbell film, which stars Maggie Q and Samuel Jackson. So, Maggie Q, what I first saw her in Mission Impossible. Which one was it? Mission Impossible 3. That's where I saw her first.
Oh,
and, Martin Campbell. Did he direct GoldenEye?
Yes, he did. He directed GoldenEye and Casino Royale.
Yeah.
And Mask of Zorro. His only bad film that he's ever done, in my opinion, is Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. So there we go.
Did you make of it?
I thought the trailer was. I thought the trailer was good. I thought it was a good trailer. It failed on one thing, and this is mainly because of the optics. Obviously, Warner Brothers are trying to capitalize on this kind of action movie, with the success they've had with John Wick and The Equalizer and stuff.
This is Millennium Films and Lionsgate, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
technically Warner Brothers.
Yeah, but the reason why I say Warner Brothers is because it says by the studio that bought you John Wick. So I was like, okay,
Lionsgate.
So if it's Warner Brothers, okay, what are they doing here? Because when you bring in by the so and so of John Wick, now the audience has an expectation of what kind of movie it is, and some people are probably looking at it. Will the action be like John Wick? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you bring in by the director of Casino Royale, and it's like, well, those two don't add up. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, Martin Campbell, you know, he has an eye for action, and he's filmed, you know, 2 of the best Bond movies of all time. He's done tremendous work with the Zorro series, and you know, he's had a few other good films as well, a few other good films in between. His last film was probably one of the worst superhero movies in the past 20 years, but you know, someone's got to take that crown. However, you know, when it comes to optics, you're comparing him to the John Wick guys, you know, and you can't really do that. I think if they were to take that off and just go, look, by the director of GoldenEye and Casino Royale, fine, I'm in. You know what I mean? Just take John Wick off there, man, because now we're overhyping it. We're overhyping it.
I'm just gonna digress a little bit. So I can see why they're doing that. So basically, Maggie Q started off in Hong Kong. Jackie Chan was her manager. She did a few Hong Kong action flicks. Naked Weapon, I think, was the most popular culty film that came out at the time.
I see that. I didn't know that was her.
And she's awesome. Like she was awesome in Hong Kong. Then she came over to America, did the Nikita TV show, which was good. And the problem with this film, you get very much what you got in Nikita, but just on a film level. Yeah. This kind of film, it would have worked perfectly in the 90s because that's when we loved action films like that. And there was never really a female action star in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it would have worked perfect then. The problem is now I'd love to see this film, but yeah, Maggie Q's awesome, but she can do this kind of role with her eyes closed. The director, Martin Campbell, his last film was actually The Foreigner with Jackie Chan, coincidentally.
Oh, okay, that was all right.
And that was good. So I think that's why they're going with the old John Wick marketing, because they're like, oh, John Wick, Jackie Chan, maybe you can connect the dots. But
they should have went with the director of The Foreigner.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That would have got the martial art crowd a
Casino
little bit
Royale
high.
is a far larger property to say from the director of.
Oh yeah,
And
true. But you could have easily just said by the director of both. To be honest,
marketing, man. I'm telling you.
I just think the John Wick thing is a bit. Yeah. John Wick.
As long as John Wick stays popular and it's associated with anything, it's going to be top billing for anything that's associated.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what I was going to say.
But bottom line is, I did enjoy the trailer. I do think it's definitely the kind of movie I'd watch. So
it feels like it does feel like a throwback. In terms of like a late to mid 90s type of action.
Produced by Joel Silver, probably directed by Richard Donner.
Yeah.
One thing I was gonna say though is when you were saying about the like them utilizing the name John Wick.
Yeah.
I think for anyone, say, like the four of us, who take a very hard interest in movies and who makes movies and who's responsible for movies, to us, we see that and we're like, like, why are you flinging out that connection? For the average Joe who doesn't like, or the average person who knows next to nothing about films, they'll just think, oh, the guy, like the studio who made John Wick, okay, so you've got a track record making good action films. The guy who made Casino Royale, well, you've got a track record of making good action films, and just pump it up. Or not even that, they won't even think, oh, you've got a good track record. They'll just be like, John Wick, Casino Royale, and now I'm seeing a movie.
Yeah. That's fair enough. What was he going to say? Got a good cast. Was this the trailer with Michael Keaton in there?
Yes.
Yeah,
it was. It was. I'm in. I'm calling it though. I think he's the bad guy, but
yeah, definitely. I agree.
I don't think he is. You know.
No.
I don't think he is. He's made it's. The trailer's made it obvious that he's supposed to be, but I don't think he is. I think this is going a 24 route where it's someone else. There's another player that you haven't seen, or someone that she knows.
Oh damn! Robert Patrick's in this shit.
Oh yeah,
villain.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a villain.
If it's not Michael Keaton, Samuel Jackson's not. Or Sam's not really dead, and he's the bad guy.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, again, this trailer is full of he's a biker. I just saw him. It's full of action. This is a summer blockbuster film. These are the films I used to see before when you went to see like Twister or something. These are the trailers that you saw with them as well. 1 second.
To me, this is Sylvester Stallone Assassins with Antonio Banderas.
Say again.
Assassins.
Oh yeah,
Wachowski brothers.
Is that the one?
Exactly.
The Wachowskis, right?
Yeah, Wachowski's wrote that one. Yeah, Richard Donner, I think.
Yeah,
Richard Donner. Yeah, that with Banderas. That was a good film, man. I like that film.
Right. Okay. We're gonna jump to the next trailer now. And that is Demonic. There's no poster for this, so I've got nothing to show.
Okay.
So I don't know where it's going to be, but it's a film. How about it, guys? What do you make of it?
Deadass wasn't heavily impressed. I mean, literally, the only thing that captured my attention was when I saw Neill Blomkamp's name come up. I was like, okay, I'm like, let me see. And then I kept watching, and I was like, nah.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same. I do really feel that at this point, I feel that he's a one-trick pony. I don't think everyone was talking about his Alien 5 film. I've got no interest in Ripley anymore. I've got no interest in at least his version of Ripley and Newt and
I don't know, man. That's something I haven't put on the thing, but there's been like a full script synopsis of what he had in mind, and I really dug it. I'm sorry, like them going to the company and destroying shit. That's a whole other subject. We'll talk about
that should never happen.
We'll talk about it more in another podcast for sure.
Oh, really?
But
okay.
yeah. Let's not do it now. Let's save that for next week because we don't have any news for next week just yet. That's quite a big one. I wanted to discuss that more. Yeah. I was going to put it in, but yeah.
One trick.
But the fact we're talking about that more than this film kind of says a lot more about what we think about this film. I thought it was. I was like, I'll watch it, but yeah, I thought it was a weak ass trailer. What did you think, Ben?
I must admit, so I do apologise. I never got to watch this trailer because I kind of just caught the link afterwards. But I like Neill Blomkamp, and I think he is a little bit more of a one-trick pony, but he's yet to show it, and I don't know how long it's going to take him to get there. And judging by your reactions and what I've read about this film previously, this doesn't look like the one. Like he needs to find
something I might be a bit too harsh there. But
you know what it is? There is a part about the trailer that makes it a little interesting, right? The concept, just from that one trailer I saw, because I think we all saw the same trailer, which was like the minute and something long one, right?
Yeah, I think there's only one. Well, there's only one trailer I saw.
Oh, well, yeah, then it is that trailer, right? But the thing that caught me was that it's almost like I guess you could say the horror movie version of like Avatar, or the horror movie version of The Matrix, or the horror movie version of like Ready Player One. You're being sent into a digital world, and it just so happens that something demonic is going to take place there. And maybe it's like what happens there starts to bleed into the real world. But I mean, as a concept, it seems like would be an interesting idea. But from that one little trailer I saw, I didn't see anything that drew me in.
Yeah. You know what? I'm looking at his filmography, and like, I didn't mind Elysium personally.
I love that film.
I quite like that. I quite like Elysium. And Chappie, I get why people didn't like it, but I liked it because of the reasons why people didn't like it.
It's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, same. I thought, what are they named? Diane Antwoord. I thought people were like, oh, they're so annoying.
They can't act.
And do you know what? It's because of that is why I like them, because they were so different to anything that I've seen on screen ever that I was just like, wow, who are these people and stuff? And
because you didn't know who Diane Antwoord was.
I didn't know who they were. I discovered them. I discovered them.
Still don't know who they are.
Oh man, they're a music artist. They're a band, basically.
South African
band. And that's how they are. The main guy is actually called Ninja. Yeah. And he talks some shit, mate. He talks some proper shit, man.
He reminds me of my drunk friends. That's all I'm going to say about him.
Put it this way, that guy is South African Deadpool right there. I'm sorry, but what was I going to say? No, I really enjoyed it. I thought they gave the movie a kind of flavor that I'd never seen before, because I didn't follow them. I didn't know who they were. So for me, I thought they were great, and I was like, I like Chappie. Yeah, it was short circuit free, but in the hood. But I was down.
It wishes it was short circuit free.
I was down with it, man. I thought it was amazing. But you know, that's just me. And I felt Hugh Jackman was very good in it as well. Like as a villain, as a villain, I thought I believed it. And Sigourney Weaver was excellent as well, and that's why I was like, again, that's why I was really hyped for him doing Alien. But anyway, that's something else. But
you're right, Sasha. And the thing is, it was a good film. And the thing is, if they weren't a band, it would have been even better, because them playing those characters would have been entertaining. But because they were just playing themselves, we didn't know that, because I wasn't really aware of them before. So I was like, okay. But yeah, it could have been. There was something there, and I'd easily watch it again.
Plus, I do feel as well with those 3 films as well at the time, they were original sci-fis, and I don't think had Prometheus come. Yeah, Prometheus had come out then, but that's the thing. No one does sci-fi. Well, there's loads of sci-fi films out, kind of thing, but they're all kind of low budget kind of stuff, and he was kind of like he was kind of middle range kind of movies kind of thing, where they're a little bit higher budget than what we've got these days kind of thing. And I like big sci-fi. That's why we watch Ridley Scott for Prometheus and stuff like that. He's bringing the opus back kind of thing. That isn't like comic booky, that isn't Star Wars. It's like, you know what I mean, like there. And that's why like I like stuff like Blade Runner and stuff like that, but they're sequels and stuff. He was bringing original sci-fi on a big epic kind of scale kind of thing with these films. And District 9 like smacked it out the park for sure. That is his that is his big number one thing. And his other movies aren't as good, but you know what? I am a fan of his work, and I'm also a fan of like a couple of shorts he did. I haven't seen them all, but I've seen, because he's done a few shorts after Chappie and stuff, and they've been pretty cool. But this film, this trailer was a letdown for what he's done before. Definitely, I'm intrigued. I'm a fan. So
you took a long way to get to. It was disappointing.
No, because we're what was it? It was kind of like one of those ones where I know you don't like him, and except for
no. Let's not get misconstrued. I don't. It's not that I don't like him. I just think he's a one-trick pony.
Okay, yeah, but a lot of people feel that way. And the thing was, I was shitting on the trailer, but then I stopped and thought, I was like, yeah, what fucking films has he done? And when I looked at the films that he's done, I was like, hang on a minute. I love those films. What are you on about? And I was like, there's a reason why I was championing him for Alien, and now I know why.
Can I just ask? I'm not seeing this trailer. One of the best things Neill did, he brought to the world Sholto Copley.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
He's not in this.
He's not in this. Okay, I won't be interested.
Well, bro, I tell you, bro, after Elysium and seeing Sholto as that villain.
Oh man,
sorry,
so good.
Neil Blomkamp he's got a free pass.
Yeah.
Villain,
I'll
he's got a free pass. It's just a flesh wound. You got a free pass.
I'll say this. He's got a better record than M. Night. Because M. Night is just, he made one film and then, actually no, 3 films. He made 3 good films. Yeah, but he's still got a better record than M. Night, because M. Night pooped the cooch with what was it? The Last Airbender. Right. Okay. So Demonic comes out sometime in August. Not sure if it's streaming because it doesn't say. So look out for it. Next on the list is The Last Mercenary, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. The Van Damageator.
It has a cool poster.
Yeah, it does. It does.
A cool poster.
This film's either going to be good or bad.
Oh yeah, totally. For real, it is going to be the good or bad. I'm hoping it's as good as the trailer, because I quite enjoyed the trailer.
The good thing about it as well, it's in his mother tongue.
Oh yeah. That's right. It's a Flemish, right?
A better performance out of him. It should be something a bit more into him, and it should work. There looks to be a humour there. I didn't quite get it, but it should come out within the actual film itself, not just from the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the trailer, and for some reason, it's just making me really evaluate Van Damme's career. And I have to say, barring if you take away maybe Stallone, of that crop of action movie heroes, so you got the Seagal, the Van Damme, the Snipes, obviously Arnold, Stallone, all of that. He's probably the most relatable out of all of them, because he's got this thing about him where he's just like, I know how old I am. and I'm not gonna take myself too seriously. In like these are my retirement years. These are my golden, relaxation years. I'm gonna take it easy and I'm gonna have fun doing it. Like he's not trying to be.
He's like David Hasselhoff. He understands.
Yeah. He totally understands where he is.
He's almost parodying himself.
Yeah.
You know what?
Ben, so just to interrupt you, Ben, I think there's something up with your because every time you talk, it crackles. So I don't actually hear your voice. Say something again.
Okay, I might.
Oh no, you're good.
Is this better?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Sorry. So carry on, Neil.
Yeah, no. I was just saying that, like, he is turning into like a fine wine. He is turning into he's turning into an action comedy genius.
Yeah.
He is. He's turning into an action comedy, and I can imagine he being like John Wick 5.
Oh man, I'm there.
Like I can just see him, and like obviously, like if you see the way he is, and like the Kickboxer remakes, where he's just there with his little hat and his sunglasses, and he's just like, "C'est la vie."
I'm blind.
He's just like, oh, I'm relaxed. It's like I did my time. I'm good. I'm chilling. And he's like, yeah, I'm down for it. So when I see this trailer, I get that sense of like that vibe of this is
JVCD.
Like, yes, this is definitely like this is that I'm trying my hand at comedy. This is like I basically is a physical comedy movie, but it just happens to be that physical comedy just happens to be martial arts.
Yeah.
Like if it was somebody like Jim Carrey, it'd be very slapstick.
Yeah.
But because it's Van Damme, they can get off. They can get out with like, oh yeah, like kick him so his chin hits the ceiling, and then sweep him so he hits the floor.
It's again an action-packed trailer, and it has all the bells. It's just enough, and there's enough slightly self-referencing comedy elements in it to. Oh right, okay. He knows that he knows where he is. He's
yes, that is it. He knows where he is.
He knows where he is, and just the fact that we know he's aware of that makes you want to watch the film. Yeah, I gotta say the trailer impressed me, but I do hope it's good. I do hope it's good. Did Satch already talk?
Yeah, I mentioned it at the start, but what I will add is like Jean-Claude Van Damme, he's totally at a place where he knows where he's at in his career. What I find was hilarious was that there was big talk about the Kickboxer reboot, and they were like, yeah, we've got this old martial arts star and he's going to be the mentor figure and all of this stuff. And then the guy died, and then they were like, okay, who shall we get? And then Van Damme put himself forward. He goes, no, I'm the guy. Okay, I'm training the new guy. And then and they weren't interested, and then they changed director. The minute they changed director, the director's like, Jean-Claude wants to be in this. Why is it not that? And then they got him, and they just made it as a follow-on to the old damn movie, and it spawned the franchise. I mean, like, they're low-budget films, but you know what? Batista's in that one. He's the bad guy in that one. Yeah. And then I don't know who's in the second one, but there's like three of
Christopher
Lambert. There's three of them now, and it's like it's spawned a brand new kickboxer franchise, man.
I didn't even know that. I knew about the.
It's got the friggin' mountain from Game of Thrones in it.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, those films are what they are, and the people that watch them know what they're getting, and they're fun. They're fun, and he's joking them. So yeah, I think Jean-Claude knows what he's doing, man. I think for me, his big comeback for me personally was Expendables 2.
Definitely,
that film was just. Oh, you know what? The first one was a good film, but it wasn't the movie that I wanted. But 2,
and there the right action in the first one.
But the second one was exactly what I wanted. Like, it's exactly what the, you know what I mean? It was such a good film. The only thing I could complain about, if I was to complain about that film, was the fight between him and Sylvester Stallone was way too short. That should have been a bigger fight. And also when Van Damme and him, like when he did the roundhouse that took him out, come on, man! Every Van Damme fan knows that should have been shot at 3 different camera angles, okay? Because if they had done that, along with the elbow, if they'd done that, the whole audience would have roared so much, man. Like, that's the only thing. You know what? Everyone pest the Sly for a director's cut on that, man, because that's the only thing, man. That film was so good.
Brent, did you have a chance to talk yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think I added a little to it, but yeah, I mean, I like Van Damme. I went through phases when I went off and on him, but I think now that he's matured, like you said, he's like a fine wine. He knows where he is. He doesn't need to prove anything, because you just go back to Bloodsport, you just go back to Hard Target, and even Expendables 2, like you said, Sasha, and that's it. So now where he is, it's just like comedy. You know who he is. It's going to be something that has winks at the camera, and that's fine. That'll do.
Yeah. I've got to say, one of the best things about this trailer is the dancing. The dancing. Yep. If you're gonna watch this trailer, guys, the dancing. If you know Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know that there's a meme out there about him dancing. Boom. Got it.
You know what?
Yeah.
One thing though, right? That it's actually reminded me when you were talking about Expendables 2, just about Van Damme. I think it's Luke Hemsworth.
Yeah, Luke Hemsworth. Yeah.
He's got an interview where he talks about his part in the film where Van Damme kicks him. And he's like, like Van Damme kicked me. And he was like, it's like the worst pain he's ever felt in his life. As you can imagine, when Van Damme kicks you, you'll feel that kick, 2 years later. But kicks him. And then he's like, I remember he gets knocked, he takes the kick and falls down in pain. And then he gets up and he's like, you kicked me for real? And then Van Damme had the greatest response of any person to ever do martial arts or ever be in an action film ever. He went, yeah, but it's a controlled kick. I kicked you and it hurt you, but it was controlled.
Damn.
Well, the fact that he can say that and just hey, it was just controlled. That's how I imagine him saying it. Okay, moving on. The next trailer is Steven Soderbergh film, my personal favorite director. No Sudden Move. So this film stars Don Cheadle, Brendan Fraser.
Go on, Brendan.
Yeah, go on, Brendan. And there's another guy in there.
David Harbour, Matt Damon, Benicio del Toro, Ray Liotta, Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
I said Don Cheadle. Bill Duke is in there. Sick.
Who?
Bill Duke.
Bruce Ray's going to kick your ass.
Yeah. How do you not know Bill Duke? Predator. Black guy that's
all that
80s talking about his cat, not the actor.
No, I'm talking about the actor.
Is that his name? Bill Duke?
That's his name, Bill Duke.
I didn't know that was his name.
That's his name.
Bill Duke, man.
Bill Duke's a legend, mate.
Long tail Sally.
That guy's a legend.
Well, he's in this film.
Yeah.
you can't miss him. He's Blick.
How do you know Bill Duke? Commando, Exit Wounds,
with pink lips.
Predator.
Like a burnt Dorito.
Director deep cover.
Yeah.
Action Jackson, Starman, Sister Act 2. Come on, man. Bill Duke. Payback. He was one of the dodgy detectives in that film.
Yeah, I know. I know who he is. So this to me looks like a classic. It's a mixture between a gangster film and Oceans, but it's got that stylistic. It's what Soderbergh has
it's different to Spielberg. It's different to everyone else. He's got a very slick type of style, but it doesn't feel. It doesn't feel like I don't know. There's no one else that I can associate that style with, but he's got a good one. I'm really happy to see Brendan Fraser back in anything, because I like Brendan Fraser.
Well, he's got a hit TV show at the minute, so
one that I've never heard of. What's it called?
The DC property thing with Timothy Dalton, Doom Patrol.
Oh,
he's one of the leads in that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you rarely ever see him.
Right. Is he a voice? Is he?
Well, the character is like a robot.
Ah, right. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how any other people. That's what it feels like. Fargo. This is what this feels like. It's a bit of gangster. There's a bit of a mystery. There's a bit of intrigue into what is actually going on in the actual film. I'll let you guys carry on from here on because I'm biased.
You know, it's interesting you're saying about the style because there is a little bit of Coen Brothers to it.
Yeah, there is.
I felt, but like you said, it's very rare. Not many directors do it in that way.
Yeah. If there's one thing I know about him, he frames interestingly, and he uses interesting. He did this in Ocean's 11 throughout all three of them. He experimented with camera angles. There was a plane landing, and he uses a side shot to get the whole shot in. And so the camera's on its side, and you see the plane landing, and you see everything. You see it in the sky, then you see it land, and I've never seen anyone do that before. So, but then again, I'm biased. So
you got a big old crush on Soderbergh.
Oh yeah. If there's any filmmaking style that I would adopt, it's his or Kevin Smith's. That's all I got to say about it. Anyway, John Hamm's in this as well. Okay, guys, tell me this, right? John Hamm, do you think he would be a good Lieutenant Draven? Police Squad.
I could see it.
I have no idea.
Oh,
you've never seen The Naked Gun?
Yeah, I've seen The Naked Gun.
Yeah, that's who he's on about.
Right.
But
that's Nielsen's character.
I didn't.
You. It's not synonymous with you. You didn't grow up with it.
I can see it. I can see it.
Because the character's supposed to be very. Because he's a serious actor that did a comedy role, and it works. It just works because he takes everything ultra seriously, and everything around him is funny. And so I can see John Hamm doing that because even in Mad Men, he's strangely funny at some points without being funny, and I think that's a perfect. Anyway, I went off the script there.
But that's a good point, though. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah. I was speaking about yesterday.
I must admit, never seen Mad Men, but
Mad Men's brilliant.
Yeah, Mad Men's great.
But I just remember people going mad because they were like, John Hamm needs to play Archer.
No, he doesn't. No, I mean he could, but he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to be a live action Archer.
Weren't they throwing his name for Bruce Wayne at one point as well?
He'd have made a beautiful Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
I could see that. Okay, moving on. Okay, so there was today there was a Ghostbusters Afterlife featurette or EPK, and it's got Jason Reitman and
Ivan
Reitman talking about the film, how it was made, how it felt coming back to the characters. Did you guys watch this by any chance?
Yes, I got through half of it before we
right before we started. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's what you would expect, really. It's just a bit more insight or verbal insight into how they made the film. I gotta say, I didn't really get much from it, other than that they're family and they can make films.
I think, for me personally, even though I haven't watched all of it, from I think it was like the 3 or some odd minutes I watched of it, might have been just over half. What got me was this is, to me personally, this is a ploy by them and the film studio and whatnot to draw back the
expectations,
the fans who were so utterly horrified by Answer the Call.
Right.
Who were so just like absolutely just disgusted with that movie. They're like, look, you know, they were like, Ivan, I made the first two with you know, those comedic geniuses. And he's like, now my son is taking it over. This is you know what, this is the directing version of frigging Creed if right? If Apollo never died and he raised Adonis, this is like this is Creed 1, but you know, Adonis's dad is Rocky.
Yeah.
That's what this is. That is pulling back the fans because it's, you know, it's, look, the film is about passing the torch, and what better metaphor for that than the fact that the father is figuratively passing the torch down to his own son. He directed the first two. His son is directing the latest one. Like,
yeah,
exactly.
Like it's the things that Hollywood dreams are made of.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah.
My takeaway from it was like they're trying to say, okay, so yeah, we've got the heart and soul of the original and the second Ghostbusters here. We're continuing it. We're keeping it on as a legacy, father and son. And by the way, we're so sorry for the Melissa McCarthy one. Please ignore that. It had nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
You guys are absolutely right. That's what I got from that, and I just hope it's good. It's like cool. It's like cool. I've seen the trailers now. Just show me the goods. Show me the goods.
I think there's still one more trailer to come. I think there's
still one more trailer. Yeah, there is.
It comes out in August now, right?
Because they showed that teaser. They showed the little teaser, and then they showed the proper teaser trailer where it's like trailer 1, and everyone was like, "Holy shit! What we want more!" And then COVID.
I didn't get that from everyone. I saw people mix because they were kids, and it's Stranger Things.
It is Stranger Things. Let's not sugarcoat it.
You know, yeah. But you know what the thing is? It's, for me, I think this is the problem with making sequels to films generations later.
Yeah.
Is the people who are immediately interested in watching it are not necessarily the demographic that's going to make you the money from this film.
Yeah.
Right? They'll watch it because, you know, it's like, we all grew up loving Ghostbusters. I'm going to watch this film. I like, the second I knew that they were making it, I was like, yeah, I'll watch that. But that's not gonna you know, pass on down to like my nephews, my nephew or my niece, right? Who, like, I can show them Ghostbusters now, and they might like it or they might not like it. But, you know, it's because, you know, culture is so different. Remember, the first two Ghostbusters films, they had to use landline phones to get everything done, right?
Yeah.
Their computers were black screen with green text. That's what that Nokia 3210 was a generation away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that phone is two generations old now. So that's how far back we're going. So for like our generation, we're gonna love it, or should theoretically love it and go and watch it and enjoy it. But I think the youth that's gonna be brought in, it is basically just the fact that it's got one of the kids from Stranger Things in it, and it's got a similar vibe to Stranger Things because the first Ghostbusters is set in the 80s. This film, even though it's set in present day, is going to have a feel of the 80s, and it's going to kind of draw those things together.
Yeah, definitely. I as Sat said, the only thing I'm looking for from this film, I haven't seen the 2016 Ghostbusters because after the first trailer, I said, "Yeah, I'm out. This is not for me."
See, you was good, right? You was good. You had the sense to see the trailer and be like, nah, I'm done. Right? Me, hard-headed. I went in there, sat in the cinema and watched that whole film. Right?
That was our first. That was our first podcast. That trailer.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the first trailer we reviewed. We reviewed Ghostbusters. I was hot. The thing is, the trailer came out. It wasn't a great trailer, but I was always adamant. I was holding out that even though it's not the Ghostbusters that I wanted, let's see what they do, because Paul Feige had a good track record of films. He did. Spy is hilarious. Bridesmaids is hilarious. The Heat is joke as well. So he had a good trilogy of comedy films that were great. You had Melissa McCarthy. You have all those girls that are equally talented comedians. And I was more than willing to see what the take on it was. And considering that the trailers suggested that it was connected in the same universe, I was like, okay, cool. So maybe we'll get those guys. And then when we got the thing was, Paul Feige, whatever, he said that it wasn't connected, but the marketing team obviously didn't get the memo. So I thought maybe he was just bullshitting us, because if you're going to market it, why would you do that to us? You know what I mean? As the consumer, you go in there and you find out actually the director was telling the truth. It isn't connected. And for me, I think I didn't write off straight away. I felt it had a very strong opening. The start in the house was really, really good. And I was like, wow, okay, I'm in. And then, they were building up the characters, and that was fine. But for me, where my logic box in my head was like, nope, was the first time they went after a ghost. Because when they went for the ghost in the rave, them firing the proton beams, even though there's loads of people about, they're firing nuclear accelerators on their back. And I'm like, okay, this is the first time they're doing it. And I'm just like, wow, like, here's the thing, all right? This health and safety sounds like a dumb topic to discuss in movies, but you've got to understand, the first film set up a logic to the equipment they used, and it had a certain logic because that was the world that they were building. They were world building. And this is a reboot. We're not coming off of other films. They had to equally do their own share of world building, and they failed. And not only did they fail, they mentioned it's the same tech. You've got a nuclear accelerator on your back and you're firing left and right in crowds of people. You're a moron. You know what I mean? Like if you look at the first time, Ray, Peter, and those guys, Egon, go after Slimer. You know what I mean? We see how dangerous the whole movie's based on, how dangerous those fucking proton packs are. Because what is the famous song? Don't cross the streams. Exactly. Don't cross the streams. What we do now, we cross the streams. You said crossing the stream was bad. Okay, he's a sailor. Yeah, whatever, man. Like that film had, it had great world building. This 2016 one did not. It failed, and that it failed, and it was like from there, the minute they didn't listen to their own logic, I was like, okay, so it's a cartoon movie now. Like, literally, it's a joke. They're not taking it seriously. And then everything else everyone did say, and it was a shit movie, man. It was a shit movie. I'm not going to go into a full review, but all I
can say to you is, as you haven't seen this film is, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word on YouTube. I think they like got problems with it. So I'll say it in another way. This film is like the reverse version, like whatever the reverse of misogyny is, that's what this film is. Like his description of this film is based tremendously on the logic of a film, right? I didn't even get that deep into it. I sat there and watched it.
I gave it a chance, man. I gave it a chance.
I asked myself, I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, wait a minute. And I started counting, right? So there's a problem when I started counting, right? I started counting the men in this movie. Every one of them is stupid. And I don't mean stupid like Walter Peck, right? In the first film, Walter Peck was stupid, but guess what? He was doing his job, and it seemed like a logical idea. It was just a stupid idea because we had flipping dramatic irony and new things that he didn't. Yeah. Every dude in the 2016 was just stuck on stupid, dumb for no reason other than it's like you have a dick. Yeah, you're stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean that's just more reason. If there's stuff, I got a whiff of that from the trailer, and the fact that it was trying to honey trap me from the get go, at the beginning, and back in the day, 4 scientists. Even though
there's only 3 scientists and a mechanic.
Yeah. It just I'm out. Just from the opening of that trailer, I was out. So I got nothing against Paul Feig, but that film didn't do anything for that franchise. It may have done something for a small audience that was first introduced to Ghostbusters, and I feel sorry for those people because no, I don't feel sorry for them. Just go back and watch the other ones because they're really good films. That's why I feel
sorry for somebody, right? Because if you could go back and watch the original, right, I can't feel sorry for you. Mm-hmm. Especially when it's like, oh, you knew that they were making a new version, and nothing clicked in your head to say, you know what? Let me go back and watch this really, really iconic, heavily popular film.
Yeah. I know how you mean.
Just play the video game. The video game on PS4, it's PS3, but they remastered it on PS4. Just check it out. It's the Ghostbusters 3 that we always wanted. It really is. It was based on the original script for Ghostbusters 3 in the 90s. They just made it work and adapt it for a video game. And it's fantastic. You even find out what the Traveler looks like before, like, you choose the form as well. If you get what I'm on about there. So yeah, it's a sick game. It's very good.
That Traveler is very meta. I don't think people that know the film very well will get that.
Yeah, well, I'm not
talking to see what Space Buff really looks like under the
hood. Under the hood, you totally get to see, and that shit is scary, bro. That shit is more scary than because the whole idea was that it's supposed to be so petrifying that you've got your human state cannot comprehend how petrifying it is, kind of thing. It delivered, man. I was like, wow. Well, I'm running.
Okay, moving on. To the news topics now. So it seems like was it Jordan Vogt-Roberts that's doing this? Face Off.
Adam Wingard.
Adam Wingard.
I think it's Adam Wingard. Yeah.
He plans to make a Face Off 2. Good luck, mate. Have at it, guys.
Well, he's setting it directly after the first movie.
Good luck, mate.
I'm like, the guy Castor Troy got harpooned through the chest. I don't see how. But you know what? Kudos. It's a sequel and not a reboot. Kudos to that, because I'm sorry, if they rebooted those two guys, I would have been like,
talk about writing yourself out of a corner.
One, why reboot it? Two, But all right, you know what? As bad as it sounds, as stupid as it sounds, I want to see it, just to see those two guys be the same guys. And I know it's probably going to be horseshit, but you know what? Yeah. Like, this guy gave us The Guest, so you know, I'm not a fan of the Godzilla films. Okay, so or Kong versus Godzilla, but you know, he gave me The Guest, so you know, we're okay. But like, we'll see. I'm not really that excited for Face Off 2. I think we all needed to say what needs to be said in Face Off. Doves in the church, that's all we needed, okay? Done. But like, you know, when a guy gets harpooned through the chest, hell, the Green Goblin didn't even come back to life in the Spider-Man film, okay? The comics is another thing, but that was 23 years later. But, you know, like, hey, it's almost 23 years to that movie. Maybe he's got a healing factor now. I don't know, man. I swear to God.
Yeah, the problem is, like, Adam Wingard, like, he seems to like his reboots. Like, he rebooted Blair Witch for no apparent reason.
Was it a reboot?
I liked it personally.
Was it a reboot or was it a sequel?
It was a sequel, wasn't it? It was actually a sequel. But at the same time, it was rebooting the franchise. But it was entertaining. I didn't mind seeing it, but nobody wanted it. Everybody was like, leave it alone.
By the way, there's going to be another Blair Witch. I think it comes out this year.
Okay. Was that Blair Witch any good?
It's entertaining, but it was the same thing all over again. This time done with GoPros and modern cameras.
Okay.
To be honest, there's a prequel.
Yeah. Oh.
There is a prequel.
Oh, did it come out? Because I heard it never came out.
No, it's a video game.
Video game.
Video game is a
because
prequel to Blair Witch Project.
I know the original creators wanted to do a prequel movie where it was set in like the 1800s or something like that, and it never. Obviously, it never got.
I would watch that because
I know, right?
You're setting up you're building a world. You're world building.
Yeah.
By doing that. I mean, I don't know what to say about Face Off 2. Because like
nobody wanted it.
No. I'll put it this way: if the trailer is entertaining, I'll watch this. If it hits if it's absurd as I think it will be, then I'll watch it.
I guess Nicolas Cage, you've already got absurd. It's like, fine, pull John Travolta back somehow. It's like, okay, they both need to be back on the big screen, but.
Well, no, John Travolta's alive though because he's Sean Archer. So even though he got harpooned through the chest, you got to remember he's playing the Nicolas Cage character because at the end of the film he gets his face back. You know what I mean? He gets his face back. He's now Sean Archer again. Whereas I know the characters, man. I've seen this film like about 1 billion times. It was like that The Rock, Con Air, most watched VHS tapes in my teens for sure. So I guess you've got the kid to worry about because Sean Archer, Sean Archer like takes his kid, isn't it?
No, you're right.
He takes his kid. Yeah. So what's going on there? The kid must be a grown up now. I don't know, man. I don't know whether we need to visit this well, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't going to watch it. That'd be a straight up lie.
You're right in the Travolta sense. That I just mean like picking him up from where he is now, the kind of films that he's making now, and putting him back on the big screen because he hasn't been in a decent film for I don't know how long.
It's true, but is this the film we need to see Travolta in? I mean, personally for Travolta, if he was to go back into like old rogue galleries of people that deserve sequels, there are two characters, and one of them is the guy from Russia with Love.
Battlefield Earth.
From Russia with Love.
Paris, perhaps.
Huh? From Paris with Love. Yeah. Sorry,
from
Paris with Love. Sorry, I said Russia, Paris, yeah. And the other one, the other character is my favorite character of his whole filmography, Chili Palmer. I want a third Get Shorty film, man. Just do it. But yeah.
Well, wouldn't that be late because they made a remake of that?
It's by what I've been told, it's not a remake because he's not.
There's no Chili Palmer character in it. It self-referenced itself. The films exist outside the TV show.
Yeah, they're just taking the idea and stuff. Personally, like that character
is different.
I just want to have a new film, basically. Because I love those films. The second one not so much, but the first one for sure. You know, and plus, like in the world of entertainment and gangsters and stuff, you know, get Soderbergh to do it, man. He's good at high stuff. So you know, there we go. Make it happen. Bring back Travolta. But Face Off 2, I think all around the board, no one wants it. But yeah.
No.
Well, okay. Moving on. To Creed 3 news. So there's actor Jonathan Myers
Jonathan Majors.
He's going to be fighting Creed. I'm guessing he's going to be Mr. T's son.
No, they're saving him for the next spin-off, Clubber.
So I'm guessing he's going to be Clubber.
Amazon's got it now. Watch Clubber, the series that will come.
Play.
if it happens, you heard it here first.
Well, listen here, right? I've always stated that Clubber Lang is the greatest villain in Rocky history. Sorry, I know that there are some people who love Drago because he kills Apollo, but the dialogue that belongs to Mr. T, right? Don't give him a statue, give him guts.
Yeah.
And even that, he don't even say Adrian, he's like, hey woman. Hey woman.
I mean, Mr. T, because he was a wrestler as well. He's got the talk. He can chat for days.
The way the man said it, when he was like dealing with Apollo, and Apollo turned his back on him, and he's like, "Don't turn your back on me, sucker."
Yeah. If this guy does turn out to be Clubber Lang's son, it's going to be special. I mean, they'll be following it'd be going into what Rocky did. So the first two films were fairly serious, and then it went into not the absurd, but it went to. There's a bit of Americana put on it. I feel this is where this will go if it follows the same path, so to speak.
I don't think it'll be Clubber Lang's son. But Jonathan Majors, he's a solid actor. Lovecraft County, Last Black Man in San Francisco. I've seen that film.
It is brilliant.
I heard that. I'm gonna watch it.
But yeah, he's quite talented. I personally can't wait for Creed 3. I think this is great casting. It'll be great to see what he pulls out. I'm in. I'm like Faced Off. I'm in. I'm all in for this.
Yeah. And also, isn't he playing Kang in Ant-Man 3?
Maybe. I think so. Yeah.
I'm sure he's playing Kang in Ant-Man 3. I'm just checking. Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It sounds good. Creed's hot, so it's like keep going with it. There's still plenty more space as long as it's not Clubber Lang's song, because you don't want it to go for that formula. And it's like, as Kevin Smith recently said, you don't want the next one to be Thunder Lips' son, and then it's and his son can be dragged next. And
what I can actually imagine is he won't be like connected to anyone. He'll just be a boxer, a professional boxer. He'll basically be Clubber Lang, but not Clubber Lang's son. He'll be connected to no one, and he'll just be dominating, and he'll just come through and just fuck up Creed's professional life.
You know who I would like to see come back? The original Protégé.
Oh, Tommy
the Machine Gun, the most hated guy. The thing is, though, Tommy Morrison is dead. But you know who
that then, isn't it?
No, but you know who he looks like? He looks just like another actor who's quite an A-lister now, who's actually a year younger than him and would fit the build quite well. And I know he could pull off the performance. Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg as Tommy the Machine Gun. Have him come in and challenge Creed because he's jealous that he's obtained the legacy that Rocky gave him, and he's reached the heights that he could never be. And it's kind of like for him, it's kind of like a redemption story. But he's trying to redeem himself, but he's a prick. Come on, man. And it's just the fact that you bring in Tommy the Machine Gun. People want to see that guy killed off, like beaten up and shit. So I think there's a story there. But that's who I would pick if I was to lead into the legacy of Rocky. But for this particular movie, for part 3, I want a new villain. I want someone. I do like the theatrics of the villains of old, like Apollo and Clubber Lang and stuff. And I feel that that's what we have been lacking in the past couple of movies. Memorable kind of villains, if that makes sense. And I think this could be an opportunity to create another iconic person for the Rogue Gallery, so to speak. So we'll see.
Okay. On to the next story. That is Robert Rodriguez is making a film, a film noir, which is called, if I could get my notes, which is called Hypnotic, with Ben Affleck and Alice
Braga.
And so anything that Robert Rodriguez does, I'm usually down for. So
agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need to hear nothing else. Like, it's
this
Rodriguez, it's film noir. That automatically makes me think of the First Sin City film. It's Ben Affleck, Alice Braga. I'm like, look. When you listen, like, when you face it, if you tell somebody I'm gonna bake you a chocolate cake and you tell them all the ingredients, they're gonna be like, okay, like butter, flour, right.
Yeah.
You tell somebody, hey, listen, mate, I got, I got chocolate, I got a pancake, and I got ice cream. I'm gonna put them together for you. Get it back. Do your thing, sir. I'll be waiting.
It's very Joey.
It's interesting because Rodriguez is a really good actor, as we all know, and we all like his work, especially Battle Angel. And one thing he doesn't get credit for, which he does really well, he gives his leading actresses very good roles. Even going back to Desperado with Salma Hayek, like he's always looking out for his women. So yeah.
Sorry, guys. All I can say about Rodriguez is that I've been a fan of his ever since I saw Desperado. I remember being at school and I was watching the Big Breakfast, and they showed a trailer for it. And yeah, I'm in. It just excited every part of my 15-year-old brain. So it was, I'm good. Let's do this.
You know what? Wild talk. Robert Rodriguez is the person that made me want to make films.
Wow, that's a big. Biggie.
I watched Desperado, and then I got obviously, like, watch Desperado, and you watch From Dusk Till Dawn, and then, like, years later you watch Once Upon a Time in Mexico. And I remember when they brought out the trilogy box set of
I got that.
El Desperado, and I watched El Mariachi, and I was like, damn, this is really. And then obviously, like, a friend of mine, shout out Chris Roderick, got me the Rebel Without a Crew, the book, and reading that book, and then watching El Mariachi, and then on top of that, there's a short film on the disc of El Mariachi called Bedhead.
I've seen Bedhead.
Yeah, after watching that and reading that, I was like, that's genuinely what I want to do with my life, is make films.
Yeah, that once you get that impulse, it's very hard to shake off. Yeah, I get you. Again, Robert Rodriguez in all of cinema is a guy that doesn't. He's got like a George Lucas quality to me. Like well, okay, you said I need to do this. I'm going to go here and do this, and I'm going to do it for this amount. And I'm going to do it yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix love him at the moment. They're like, his We Can Be Heroes, despite your thoughts on it, was the most watched thing on Netflix throughout, the start of the year. Like, hands down. That they were like, can you make us a Spy Kids or some more kids films? And he's like, yeah. He's got this. He's got whatever kids film he's doing. He just finished the Book of Boba. He filmed all the episodes for it. That finished filming literally the other day, confirmed. The guy films really fast, man, and he he knows his shit, man. And I think with Book of Boba, you got like Jon Favreau and Filoni on that, so he just blitzed them out. You know what I mean? And now he's just like, cool, it's in their hands to finish it, what needs to be done. You know what I mean? I've done my bit. And now he's just going off like baking the cakes for whatever else, because that's what he does, man. He sees it as like baking cakes, man. You should see his film schools and stuff. He's just like, yeah, I'm working on this, I'm working on that, I'm working on them all the same times. He should be called the octopus, man, because he's just working on like 8 films at once, man, just all the time.
He's got good aptitude for it.
Exactly.
Some people have it, some people don't. Him, Kevin Smith, and who's the other guy? Quentin, yeah, they're all from the same cabal, aren't they? So
I tell you what, though, I really wish, like, I love Dogma. I do love Dogma. However, Dogma, Kevin Smith almost didn't do Dogma. He wrote it. He almost didn't. He wrote it, but he wrote it with the intention of Robert Rodriguez directing it.
I understand why, because he would have filmed that before he finished writing it.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why he wanted Rodriguez to direct it is because there were action sequences in there, and he knew he couldn't handle it. Even in that actual film, he didn't really film the action sequences. He cut away from the action, so to speak. But you know, when you hear that, I'm like, wow, what would have Rodriguez have done with the shit demon, man?
Just give me a flashback. After Desperado, he was working on Zorro, wasn't he? And then apparently he was asking for too much of a budget, so Spielberg got rid of him and got Martin Campbell. What would be good now if they gave him another chance to do Zorro and got somebody like Pedro Pascal or somebody to play Zorro?
No. I want Rodriguez to do the Django Zorro movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
The comic book is brilliant. I want to see that movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, Antonio Banderas, Jamie Foxx, sling them both together. From the way the comic is done, it's an older Zorro. So Antonio Banderas is age appropriate right now. Make that movie.
You've heard it first. This is getting clipped. Rodriguez, you've been told. Please make this.
Well, Quentin Tarantino is a fan of that comic. He's actually a big fan of that comic.
Well,
and
he's got one more film to go. He's not going to do it.
Or does he? I mean, like, recently he said he's
done. He's done, man. He's done.
He can still produce it.
No. He says he's done already. Like, he says, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood could just be the final thing we see of his. So I don't know. Again, another subject for another time. But he did say when he was talking about Django sequel, he did say he would like to do or produce that comic book into a movie because he was impressed with it himself. So, you know, who knows, man? Maybe that wish might happen. But I don't see Rodriguez as the guy because he's got so many hands in the pies. But then that's another reason why it would be him. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
Okay, on to the next piece of news, and that is Mission Impossible has halted filming because of COVID-19. Someone on set clearly had COVID, and so I mean, this as for all of everything that Tom Cruise did, and the shouting match he had with his staff, I think it was justified. I mean. He literally was holding the films. He was like he was holding spinning plates. Like, I need to keep this film going.
Two questions.
Yeah.
One, are they still in Italy?
No, I think they're in.
They're in England.
I think
they're in England now.
They're in London. Yeah, for sure.
Right, okay. Right. And secondly, has anybody been able to track down the name of this person who contracted COVID and brought it to the set? Because something tells me that right now they might be like, you know, wrapped up in a bed sheet hanging off the Burj Khalifa, wondering how, you know, Tom Cruise managed to get them there that fast.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyone
you
who
know,
listens.
you know what? This production has been like brought down like twice now.
Twice?
That's
What was the first time?
no, they've stopped production.
General COVID.
Yeah,
Like, general
because
COVID
because of COVID, they've stopped it twice already. This is the third time now. That's why when Cruise went mental the first time, it was like, well, can you blame him? Because it's been shut down twice. There's no way that he wants it shut down a third time. That's why after the second time, that's when they said, they were filming 2 back to back. That's when they were like, we're not now. We're just going to concentrate on 7 now. So obviously he was pissed off because the budget for this thing has gone through the roof now. It's and the budget has ballooned again now because of COVID. So it's unfortunate, man, but we'll have to see. It's not like the film's not going to get made. It will get made. It's a case of how big is the budget for this film now, and will it make it?
I don't think it's anywhere near Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, you know what? Mission Impossible should be fine. But I mean, still, as a producer, I understand why he's losing his shit, why he lost his shit, and why he probably is losing his shit over this, because he made it very strict on that set about the shit, and still people are like fucking about. And I think that is a disrespect, to be fair.
But a film production has hundreds upon hundreds of people, and
true.
Depending on circumstances, you just don't. Even the jab doesn't even protect you. It protects you 80 to 90%. So even if all of these people are vaccinated, it may not even be their fault. So
true.
You've got to. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but there's the bigger your production is, the more likely.
That's right.
Going to get sick. So go on.
This is the one film where the title matches the story of the production. But they're going to turn it around. They'll turn it around when it comes out.
So does that mean we're expecting seven more outbreaks of COVID?
No, that's not what it means. He's saying Mission Impossible.
The job is Mission Impossible.
No, I get that, but does that imply that there's 7 outbreaks of COVID? Because it's Mission Impossible 7.
Oh, it's part 7, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be.
It was a joke.
Yeah, I got you.
Bad joke.
You guys don't understand. COVID is still just like the common cold. When you catch a cold, that's a COVID. That's a COVID thing. It's one of
we're living with it. It's there. It's unavoidable. Like, it's going to be there. Yeah. The thing is, when this film comes out, it's going to be the biggest publicity of it. It's going to be, oh, that film they made throughout COVID. Oh, that film that they had to overcome because they had these production breaks. But knowing the Mission Impossible track record, it's only going to be awesome. It's only going to be the best action film next year. Yeah. And this will be evidence to the commitment of how far Tom Cruise and the team had to go to get it done, to get it out there.
Yeah. I'm just thinking to myself, is the subtitle going to be Mission Impossible, how Tom Cruise tries to kill himself?
I mean, it's. I think that's one of the most intriguing things. I think Seth Rogen said it. Is that he loves the Mission Impossible series because it's Tom Cruise trying to kill himself on screen for our entertainment.
That's a man who's willing to die for his art, boy.
It really is.
Was it Picasso who cut his ear off?
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh thought he was the man. He's like, I'm gonna cut my ear off and put it in the box. Tom Cruise is like, yeah, that's cute, bro. Like, I broke my ankle and still finished the scene.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, I jumped off buildings. I climbed up the Burj Khalifa, and like I hung onto a military aircraft while it took off. He's just like, yeah, like I went into space without a spacesuit. What?
I wouldn't. Do you know what? That's probably the way he's going to go out.
I can imagine it. It would be like 10, like 20 years from now. It'd be like, oh, Mission Impossible 11, and
on Mars. We'll be on Mars.
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, what happened? And it'd be like, oh, in today's news, Hollywood is mourning the passing of Tom Cruise. And be like, he he tried to pilot the shuttle from Mars back to Earth, and there was a malfunction, and he decided to try and go out and fix it without a helmet.
As you said that, I faded into a picture of Tom Cruise looking somber. So it's almost like he passed away, which he hasn't, by the way. Whenever you're listening,
even Jackie Chan will be like, he just went too far. He just wouldn't stop. Yeah. He just didn't know when to stop.
Jackie's just chilling. He's like, well, look at all these motherfuckers trying to surpass me. Like, they still haven't.
Yeah,
no one has. No one has.
I'm sure that when he hears Tom Cruise is doing a movie, though, his eye just raises. Like, oh
yeah. Here's the thing. Tom Cruise could do whatever he likes, yeah, but until my man jumps off a mountain and tries to land on an air balloon, and then gets on the air balloon and flies away,
he's beaten that. He's done the stratosphere.
You know what? I would say, I have to agree with you, right? I say he has topped Jackie Chan. Do you know why I say he's topped Jackie Chan? Because Jackie Chan is trained. Jackie Chan knows the risk and does it anyway with full intention of doing it safely. Tom Cruise is just like,
so we need a harness? I'll do this right harness. No, Tom.
Tom Cruise is like, what can we do with that mountain? I'll be like, can you get a camera up there? And
but that's exactly the same thing, though, because even though those stunts are still planned, you got to understand, Tom Cruise is insured.
I don't think
he's still insured.
No, but all I'm saying, right, is that Jackie Chan has had years, decades.
Since he was a kid, since he was a baby.
Of training his body to be this physical specimen that he can do this shit. With Tom Cruise, I was like, Lestat, climb the bird, please.
Lestat. You know what's really funny? Just reminds me of that interview with Will Smith, because Will Smith was like, obviously he was like on the ego train, and he was like, for Bad Boys 3, he's like, yeah, well, in this one I'm going to do all my own stunts, and yeah, I see what Tom Cruise is doing, I'm going to do it. And then he got up there to do a stunt, and he was on like in a high like building or something. He gets up, he's like, yeah, fuck Tom Cruise. He could jump off planes and shit. I need my stunt double. It's just like Will Smith was just like, yeah, nah, I'm not that 50-year-old guy, man. Like Tom can have it. It's like, wow. Well, at least he was humble about it, you know.
I mean, Keanu is almost in that echelon now as well. Almost.
Keanu's the one, though.
No, yeah, but even when you see that, right? Look at all the action films and all the John Wick stuff. Everything that happens in John Wick, most of it is fighting or shooting.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. One take fighting.
Other than John Wick 3, where he was bouncing off the top of the Continental, right?
That was CGI, but anyway.
Yeah, it was CGI. But other than that, he got a gun in his hand, or he's fighting somebody, or he's got a pencil. He's good. He's chilling, right? Tom Cruise is like, oh, you killed 3 people with a pencil? Yeah, okay. I'm going to kill an army with my left molar.
I mean, it's... I can't... In terms of John Wick, I never know how they're going to top it, what they're going to do next. I just... They've always impressed me with Tom. He's always okay. How's he going to kill himself this time? With Jackie, I think Jackie's. I've proved that he doesn't need to prove himself anymore.
No, he doesn't. He's done it. He's done it all. Clock Tower fight in Project A Part 1. Oh my gosh! You know what? Watching that
wasn't the highlight for me. The fight when he's handcuffed with Yun Biao. That's fucking amazing. I haven't seen anything like that.
But you know what my favorite all-time Jackie Chan fight scene is for me personally? It's not even a death-defying stunt. This is just the fight scene because of how like crazy and raw it is. The park fight in Police Story 2.
Yeah, that's good.
Every time. It's just the rawness of it. Like when they're all chasing him and then he just ducks and the guy just trips over him. And then when they're fighting near the swings and stuff, and then he just jumps up and just like his whole body literally lands on top of the other geezer, but the way he collapses, you know it's real. You know it's real, and you see the guy go down, and you're just like, oh my god! And it's not even that he's beating these. This is the most important thing about Jackie Chan. All right, Jackie Chan don't win these fights. Jackie Chan is getting beaten to the pulp. And that's the point. That is the point. He's not like Bruce Lee where he takes 10 people at once. He's getting beat. He's running away. And then he's, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I can watch that fight scene over and over. But it has to be the version with the correct music, because there's certain music to that. And
the original soundtrack.
Yeah, the original soundtrack. Oh my God, it's just so good, man. And then I think his big Tom Cruise moment with those particular films was probably Super Cop, where he's on the helicopter.
Yeah,
I know Ben knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because when he's on that helicopter going through, was it Hong Kong?
Yes, Hong Kong.
Is it Hong Kong?
Malaysia. No, it's Malaysia.
No, it's Malaysia.
It's Malaysia. I thought
it's Malaysia.
Yeah,
when
he's going through, that's rescue.
He's holding on like the Joker in Batman 89, but the fucking helicopter's going through the whole city over fucking. Oh my God, man! When Tom Cruise does that, then Tom Cruise. Let's be fair, Tom Cruise is almost there, man. He's almost there, and he's doing really well. He's probably the best out of all the Hollywood stars. But you got to understand though, no one's better than Jackie. All right, when people understand that, then fine. Okay.
Look, people who are watching or listening to this in Hollywood, if you know Tom Cruise, do not let him hear this. Right? You don't need to try and top Jackie Chan, okay? Right?
Neill is concerned for your life, Tom.
I am generally concerned because he'll be like, I'm not better than Jackie Chan. And he'll be like, okay. Like, call NORAD. I want to defuse a real life nuclear warhead.
Jesus. that would be something.
Jackie's the GOAT, man. He is the GOAT. You know what? I need to do a Jackie Chan session. You know what? There's all these first time reaction videos, and I know Ken has never seen a real Jackie Chan movie. I think he should do. I think he should just do first time react.
Come on, surely he's seen like at least.
Everyone's seen Rush Hour.
Yeah,
he hasn't.
Like
classic.
Project A.
No, he hasn't seen them.
You know, Armor of God. I'm sure he's seen something.
No, he's not seen any of them.
Start with Police Story.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Or Armor of God. They're the two ones.
You know what?
Armor of God is more like Indiana Jones, so we find that palatable.
Yeah.
Do you know what my first was? Wheels on Meals.
Yeah, that was my first as well.
That was my first Jackie Chan experience. Wheels on Meals, and then after that was Twin Dragons. Then it was Police Story. I think Project A was my last. You know, it was in that same vein, but yeah. But oh god, no!
So over here, Channel 4 did a whole season of.
They did, didn't
Christmas,
they? Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. That was awesome.
And that's I think I must have annoyed so many people because I was just watching those films over and over summer holiday. And I became a Jackie Chan fan in 1991 or 2.
Yeah.
I know. Anyway, from one action hero to another, Indiana Jones 5 is filming in Yorkshire at the moment, and there's some pictures of the production going on at the moment, and there's various different photos floating around of young guy with a Indy mask on, which I'm guessing is for the agent. Yeah. And various other war memorabilia floating around. I say memorabilia, props.
Paraphernalia.
Yes, paraphernalia, a better word. And so the fact that he looks in shape, he looks the part as an older Indy. I never thought we'd get here, but we're here. So despite everyone's thoughts on the last film, people seem to be excited because that's all I see on the net. Indy. Even So just one more thing. They just released the 4K version of Indiana Jones, and it's just coincided with this beautifully. And so it's just flood of indie news. And so therefore it's in the zeitgeist now. So therefore it builds momentum for this next film. Anyway, go have it, guys.
Man, you know what? I'm genuinely excited. Like, here's the thing. All right, when I heard Spielberg was out, I was actually kind of like, oh man, I'm really worried about this. And then you've got all the haters on the internet, like trash talking it because he's too old, etc. Deep down, I just want a good Indiana Jones film with Harrison Ford. That's all I want. I'm not asking for anything more or anything less. But you know what? I'm going to be there opening fucking day because Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite film of all time. Indiana Jones is my guy, and I don't think Crystal Skull is as terrible a movie as people say it is. Sure, it's the worst one out of all the Indiana Jones films, but you know what? I may as well just kill myself right now. But you know what? I don't hate it. But that's just me personally. I know a lot more intelligent people think it's really shit and I don't like it. But you know what? Like, I can't not get excited when I see him in the full get-up, man. I can't not get excited when I see they're actually linking it to the Nazis with like having a de-age action sequence with him on a bike. But what I've heard of the grapevine is that like that flashback sequence, he's actually rescuing or protecting a Nazi scientist. That obviously, if you think about it, that's kind of what they did. They got like the best German scientists out there, and then took them to either the US or Moscow or whatever. So I'm assuming whoever
talking about Project Paperclip or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a Project Paperclip thing, and I honestly think whoever that scientist is, he's going to come back later on when they're older and shit, and that's going to come into fray. But the fact that they're bringing the Nazis back and they're linking it to World War II is a big deal, and I think that I think that's always been a thing in the DNA of Indiana Jones, and I think yeah, I'm really excited. Rumors are it's the Fountain of Youth. I'm like, bring it. I'm in. I'm balls deep into this film, man. Surprised me. I hope I enjoy it.
So I'm guessing this is the whole Hitler being in Austria. He's trying to find a Fountain of Youth. That would be interesting if that is the storyline.
You know what? Funnily enough, there was a video game based on that roughly. It was called Indiana Jones and the Iron Phoenix, and it got cancelled. But they made a Dark Horse comic outfit. I might be getting confused with Indiana. With Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine, which is a video game that went to the South Americas. And the whole idea was they were going to use the Philosopher's Stone to like do something to like Hitler or something.
About Harry Potter?
No.
The Philosopher's Stone is the thing that is linked with alchemy.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were going to try and
resurrect. You mentioned two things there that was very close to Harry
Potter. But it is because it's in Harry Potter, but at the same time, it's actually a thing based on myth and stuff. And they were going to reincarnate the Führer. So I'm just like, wow, that's some Palpatine, next level Palpatine shit going on there, man. That's some dedication to the cause there. But you know what? I'm game. I'm game for the Fountain of Youth. I don't know what the story is for real, but that's the rumor. We'll see. These picks excite me, and you know what? With the double, with the mask on, that only lends to me that the CGI artists now have the actual light on how it'll look like on his actual face. So the CG should be top notch, man. I'm hoping. Well, it's ILM. They do great jobs anyway on the MCU shit and stuff. But yeah, man, if they could do it where we can get a full film with Ford back in the day, Fate of Atlantis needs to be made, and with Ford, I won't have anyone else. But that's just me. I'm fanboy. I'm fan.
What if it's the guy? What if it's the guy that's in I forgot his name now. Iron Right. I can't remember his name.
Holden Iron.
What about him?
Holden.
What if he's the new Indy?
He'd be good. A bit too young, but yeah, he'd be good, man. He'd be good. I'd give him a pass. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He can be young in Indiana Jones for now.
Okay. All right, then on to the next topic, and that's I took one of the names out because Pepper, I can't remember her name now. The first actress that you mentioned was a cast last year. Christina.
Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah, she was.
Okay.
She was announced last year. Christina Ricci was a surprise cast, and so she's in The Matrix 4 apparently, and so that's a name that I never thought I would hear of in the same vein again in terms of in the movie world, because she's done a few interesting things. She's been on TV. She's kind of done everything, and you may remember her as what Adams was she?
Wednesday Adams.
And she's almost like the Winona Ryder of that era, kind of the kind of cute looking girl, the girl next door, kind of. But she's had some interesting roles. I don't
Black Snake Bone, yeah.
Sure. I was going to keep that out of the lexicon, but yeah. Go on, what were you going to say?
So the thing is, it's like the previous Matrix. You had Neil Patrick Harris in it, and that was quite a random. Like if somebody told you, Neil Patrick Harris is going to be in the Matrix film, you'd be like, why? That's random. I mean, as good as he was in it, and I feel that's what they're doing with her. Like she was a name.
He's cast in this film.
He's cast in this film.
This one, exactly. So, yeah. Sorry, Neil's right. This one. So it's the same thing with that. It's like Neil Patrick Harris, but at least Neil's still relevant. He still does good roles. He made an impact.
He's definitely going to be an agent.
I could totally see him as an agent. But you know what? Her linkage to the Matrix is what didn't strike me as a strange thing, because she's very familiar with the Wachowskis after working with them as Trixie on the Speed Racer. So so that's probably one, that's the connection. There's already a connection because they know the actress, and second of all, like, she's a great actress, so why not put her in there? I think it'll be okay. I didn't think it was left field at all, because I'm a huge Speed Racer fan, to be quite honest. I love that movie.
It's just left field because I haven't seen her in a film in a while.
She's been in some stuff, mainly TV shows and stuff.
Yeah,
but
film. Yeah. She hasn't been in a film in a while, and so.
Well, she's in a lot of low budget indies. That's the thing. She's
not been like main build. That's a better word for it. I haven't seen her as like Christina Ricci is in this film, and people.
Well, she hasn't been in any big films. Like she's in a lot of indies where she's headlining and stuff over the past couple of years. She hasn't been in a big blockbuster, and obviously from all those smaller films, this is the stepping stone. I mean, she was in Faraway Eyes last year and Percy vs. Goliath. She was the headliner on both of those movies. But again, they're both indie movies that nobody's ever heard of. She was in a movie called Distorted in 2018. So it's she's been about. She's also been in a lot. There's 2 TV shows she's been associated with where she's a regular person in them, and they're mainly Netflix or like Amazon shows. But she's still in a lot of independent films where she's the headliner. So it's just a case of she's just not been in a Hollywood blockbuster that's been in theaters where it's been like she's the girl, like you said. But
again, I just haven't. Again, the last film I saw was Snake Black Moan.
Black Snake.
Yeah, Black Snake.
That's
the
Snake Black.
I did see. I saw a lot on TV. She was in an Amazon show that I've been a recurring character in an Amazon show that I was watching. She's a great actress. Don't get me wrong. I love this woman. I think she's this will definitely give her a push. If the film is good, and 2, if it gets the release I think one of the Wachowskis wants anyway. And I hear who's the guy who did Cloverfield?
Matt Reeves.
No, not Matt Reeves. Sorry, I'm not talking about that. Viva Vendetta.
Oh yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, he went on to do not so. You mean the director? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
because he then did Ninja Assassin, if I'm not mistaken. Then he went on to do that film with Pierce Brosnan and Mila Jovovich.
Yeah,
he did kind of lower films. I forget his name.
But he's also apparently he's the co-director of the fourth Matrix film because of his familiarity with action scenes.
He was the DO. No, it wasn't the DO. James McTeague.
Yeah,
James McTeague. Yes,
James McTeague.
So he's I think he's been doing they split the film in half, and he did stuff on it, and she did the other, and so I'm very intrigued by what this film may be, because I still think it's the second Renaissance they're doing, but in a different way.
He's listed as one of the producers for Matrix 4. He is first assistant director for it.
I was watching I was watching a YouTube channel where they said that he's probably more involved than he's allowed to say he is. So,
right. Okay.
Just like the Wachowskis were involved in V for Vendetta more than they were supposed to be. But yeah, I'm intrigued. We've passed the 8th now. I had an industry friend that said trailers coming. Look out for the 8th. We passed the 8th. Where's the trailer, dude?
You know what? When that trailer drops, Joe's just going to be like, that's all we're talking about.
No. I'm a fan of the Matrix, but I'm not going to let it take over my life. The way this trailer
only Ridley.
Oh yeah, Ridley. Yeah. So all the trailers have done their job in wowing you from the first one. Even Revelations, they all made you want to go see the film. And
the trailer for the second movie is probably one of the best trailers I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a nice balance of teasing your audience and showing them enough to come in. And so if they need a trailer like that, because I know people feel quite sour about the trilogy. I'm not. I love the trilogy.
To be honest, that I do believe it's trailer 2. I think I'm talking about, where I'm just like, where it really was like, oh my god, I'm hyped to see this movie right now. I need to see it fucking now. Thing is, there hasn't been a trailer like that for all these films for a very long time. And I am looking at Marvel movies as well. Like, the Marvel movies were always there. All right, as a Marvel fanboy, I'm always there. I know what to expect from a Marvel trailer, whatever. But that trailer was exceptional. You know what I mean? For me personally, if I had to rate trailers of the best of all time, Matrix Reloaded trailer 2, because I've got the soundtrack in my head right now, the beats, the shots it goes to. I don't know what the fuck anything was going on in that movie. All I knew was, as a trailer, I needed to see that fucking film. I've seen that trailer over and over. I play it even now to this day, okay? And, give or take what you think about The Matrix Reloaded, if they've dropped the trailer that good, they will own it. They will freaking own it. Hands down. They will own it. It don't matter how bad you think the last movie was. Just, oh, God.
Yeah.
I need to watch that trailer now.
Moving on to something a little odd, for me anyway. Cruella's getting a sequel. I've got nothing to say on this, so...
Has anyone seen it?
As expected, yeah.
No.
Is it any good?
It's really good. I saw it. I was expecting it to be completely rubbish, unnecessary, really good, full of surprises. I'll leave it there. But it's
because I've heard that across the board. Everyone that's given it a chance has said it's really good. I just can't see how you make a woman that skins puppies into like a poor protagonist. But I'm intrigued to see it. It wasn't on my watch list, but the more people I know that I valid their opinion say it's good, the more I'm kind of like, okay, I'll give it a check out. But I think I was always going to check it out, to be honest. Just we'll see what happens. But it doesn't surprise me that there's a Cruella 2. I mean, Disney movies, despite how good or bad they are based on these Disney classic films, they make bank regardless. And Disney know this. That's why they make them. So the fact that there's a Cruella 2 doesn't surprise me. Money Train, isn't it?
Luckily, it came out in the cinema as well, which is probably why it's getting a cinema release.
Yeah, exactly.
A new film, even.
And this weekend for the UK has been stellar cinema front. Apparently, the cinemas are back to normal. What I've heard,
they're not back to normal, but because they're still staggered seating. So when that goes away, it's supposed to be on the 21st. Then, it'll probably go up.
Yeah, I've heard that they've been busy anyway. Like the numbers have exceeded the expectations that they were expecting. So, for example, with Cruella, sold out performances all across the board and stuff in the UK. So, we'll see, man. We'll see. Neill, you've been awfully quiet.
I ain't got much to say about Cruella. I'm like you. I'm like a woman skins puppies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't care how. Like she would have to I don't know, deliver Mother Teresa's birth, right? For her to be like, all right, yeah, cool. You know what? Like I can forgive the puppies. Like no, like you wanted to make a fur coat out of 101 Dalmatians. That's how the world was introduced to you. Like, I mean this in the nicest way. Well, fuck your life history. I don't care. You wanted to skin 101 dogs to make a coat.
It's kind of how I remember Stone Cold was this is kind of left field but similar. Stone Cold was having an interview with someone and he was telling there's a match that he had with The Rock and The Rock was saying, look, I'm going to do this move to you at the end, and it's called the Rock Bottom. No, not the Rock Bottom. It's the People's Elbow. And Rock is explaining to him, and he's just like looking at him. You're going to do what? And that's exactly how the executives in the boardroom. And we're going to make a film about Cruella. You're going to do what now? You're going to make a film about a person skinning puppies. Good luck with that. It's $2. Go make the film. There's just no way. But clearly, as I've heard as well, it seems to be a really good film. That everyone seems to like it.
If that film is that good, then I need to see my Jafar Origins movie. I need to see my Madam Mim Origins movie. I need to see my flipping Ursula Origins movie. And you know what I want to see? I want to see my Scar movie.
Damn. That's an expensive movie.
Animated with Jeremy Irons back as Scar. Like, I want to see his development. Have him, like, I don't know, he starts as a kid. You see him and Mufasa. And you know what I want? I want the internal monologue. Jeremy Irons, just internal monologue of him just seeing Mufasa do everything and become the greatest king in the jungle and just being like, this dickhead.
Yeah. I don't know what to say, man. In terms of the film, I'm glad for Emma Stone. I'm glad it's doing well. I'm still not particularly interested in the subject matter, but if it's good, then it's good. I can't knock that. So
would it help if I told you there's a great British talented cast in it, like the cream of the crop when it comes to British talent?
Gary Oldman?
No. Just who's the one? Those you already know, but they're really good. Everyone delivers.
Okay. I mean, I'm definitely intrigued, but I have to be at someone's house while they're watching it. So
I will happily watch it when it's not on premium access.
Yeah, that's the one block, isn't it?
Yeah. God, Disney. Okay, on to the next film, and clearly a no-brainer on this one, A Quiet Place 3. because this like made its budget back in like the weekend of Epidemic. Quiet Place 3. They got to do that before the kids grow up. So get them all out before the kids get too old. I mean, this was already a year displaced, so one of these kids must be like having kids now. So because they're I won't go too much into the second film, but they're visibly older. So they need to make this third film quick. It's a no-brainer to me. The first two films are really good. Again, if there's not many films that I would say this about, but this was made for cinema. So when they eventually get to camera, and they'll probably do a fourth as well, and you see. Yeah, I'm good. I don't want to dive too deep into the film. There's a bit at the beginning that's very interesting. What do you guys think of this news?
I love horror films. Not seen Quiet Place 2 yet. I've seen Love What. The first one was great cinematic experience. Like you said, pin drop silence and the sound played a big feature. The problem is, it's like, how far can you go with that formula?
You can go quite far with it.
No, they expand.
It's okay.
It's basically...
I'm looking forward to seeing the second one.
Yeah, same. I've not seen it either. It's definitely on my list. Be intrigued to see what they do, but you know what? If you two are saying that it is all that, and I've heard nothing but great things, I'm in. I'm in. So
I won't say anything about what takes place in the film. All I will say is A Quiet Place 2 is equal, if not 1% higher than A Quiet Place.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I definitely agree. It leaves you in the same place when you reach the end of this film that the first film did, and you're more intrigued.
Yeah.
You're more intrigued, and so bring it on, John. You've done a good job. Michael Bay, Platinum Dunes. Well done, Michael Bay. You did well. There's nothing more to say. Yeah. So I'll move on. The next topic is Master and Commander sequel. The prequel. Is it prequel or sequel? Let me double check that. Prequel.
It's a reboot.
It's a reboot.
It's more or less a reboot. It is a prequel because it's a book set well before that particular Master and Commander film, because that was one of the later books. This is the first book, I do believe, in the series. So they're probably looking to franchise, maybe. We'll see. After all, there are 20 books and 20 and a half books because, this was, what's that, Aubrey Martin? I can't pronounce the name, but the guy that Russell Crowe plays, that character, is definitely a film that Russell Crowe has been wanting to come back to. Unfortunately, because it's a reboot, it's not going to be Russell Crowe. It's going to be someone younger, which is fine. I guess if they're looking to franchise it, they're going to have to start from scratch. Really, the original film was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it's a really good film. It's a really good film. But I get it. If they want to franchise it, this is the way. Whether it catches on this time around, because you got to understand, the original film was nominated for a lot of awards and stuff, but it didn't make a lot of bank over at Fox, I think. So I think it might be.
It came out when there's a lot of blockbusters surrounding it. So it went fairly unnoticed.
Yeah, and it's a Peter Weir film, so which is kind of interesting considering he does a lot of Mark Wahlberg films these days. But I know Peter Weir really wanted to do.
Hold on, you mean Peter Berg, don't you?
I'm getting confused, aren't I? Okay, fair enough. Wrong Peter. But so basically, I'm pretty sure if there's 20 novels, there's definitely a lot of people that love this character and this series. So I see it as a possible franchise starter if it takes off, kind of thing. And maybe bring Russell for flashbacks. I don't know, like have a little cameo. I don't know, but everyone likes Russell Crowe. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man.
Trey Parker and what's his name? Clearly don't.
Matt Stone.
Yeah.
Fighting around the world.
That's my favorite episode of South Park.
That's one of mine.
Dude, there are so many. You know what? The South Park, it doesn't matter. There are just so many best of ever episodes of South Park. And the thing is, just when you settle on what's the best one, along comes your next best one. Because you know what? For years, Chin Pokemon was up there. It was so up there. But what they did with Mickey Mouse?
Oh, yeah.
That was brilliant.
I think Mickey Mouse shows up 3 times in the show's history.
Yeah.
The one where they go to China, special.
Oh, he beats up Hanson.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, not Hanson. Sorry,
the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, gold, pure gold. Okay. On to the next topic, and I think the final piece of news, and that is Donnie Yen is in John Wick 4, and what a cast!
Yes.
Yeah, I mean this John Wick just goes from strength to strength to strength.
How do you top Mark Dacascos and Mad Dog from The Raid? Okay, how do you top both of them to fucking Donnie Yen? You know what? This film series is just going from strength to strength. I think this is great casting. You know what? Hell, you know what? I think John Wick should face every martial artist, like every legend. Okay, bring in Van Damme, bring in Seagal. Bring in everybody. Just make them the bad. Fuck it. Even Seagal, man. Even Seagal. Make them the villain. Make them the guy that Keanu has to square off against. And I'm in. This is how we keep it fresh. Keep the martial arts fans hungry. And I'm in. I'm balls deep in, man. Just like fucking John. Oh man. Seriously. Look, I'm a huge Donnie Yen fan. This is great casting. You're not going to hear me bad-mouthing the John Wick franchise ever. And anyone that does just don't know. They just don't know. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Can't wait. Can't wait to see this fight. That's what I can't wait for.
It depends if he's an antagonist.
That is true. That is true.
Not to hate it, but I do know that Donnie Yen is apparently playing a friend of John's.
He's going to retrain him, isn't he?
Ooh. Could be. Maybe
are they going to turn on each other? Is there going to be a twist? Is he really got another side to him, this Donnie Yen character?
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, I know the Continental TV series comes out at the same time this next film does, so we may get some insight into some backstory to his character through the TV show. Maybe who knows? But just Donnie Yen. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna. This is just gonna. There's gonna be more announcements of who's in it and start to build what we'll see in the film as time goes by. But it's just like the Mission Impossible series. Just goes. It just gets better. Yeah, and that's how you do movie making, man. Not too much studio interference. Let these guys do their thing. They know how to craft a script. Just leave them to do the film. Leave them to do the film, and which I mean, I think some directors do need help with interference from the studio, but I think these guys have got it. They've got it. Hopefully, I could touch wood. They've got it.
What do you reckon? What do you reckon the chances of Sonny Chiba showing up in a John Wick film?
Oh,
that's good.
I think it's low though.
You think it's low?
Yeah.
You know how big a fan Keanu Reeves is of Sonny Chiba. He's a huge fan.
Who isn't a fan of?
I know, man. I know.
I mean, you'd have. What role could he have? See, like
John Wick's dad.
Every role.
Granddad.
I think anything's possible, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only person that is.
And Sonny Chiba even popped up in Fast and Furious 3 Tokyo Drift.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. Well, you could be right. You could be, because I do feel this film is about pure revenge now. It's about taking the
Continental down. Winston.
Not even Winston, because I think he understands why Winston did. Winston more or less saved his life, I think.
He did.
In a backwards manner, he saved his life. And so I feel that it's taking down the syndicate or whatever they call them.
Oh, yeah.
The table, the high table.
Yeah, the high table, that's it.
And because it's a worldwide organization, you'll see John Wick go one country to the next and just take each one out till he gets to that guy that you saw in the desert. Then he'll be the last guy to take out. Well, that's my fan fiction anyway. But good news all around. I can't say more than that. I'm happy about it.
You know who else would fit in perfectly? Like if Donnie Yen is a friend, that would be fine. If it's Donnie and John Wick taking on the syndicate and then destroying the hotel, Scott Adkins would be good as a baddie.
You know
Scott Adkins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what? I just realized that I swear, like John Wick is basically turning into like the martial arts version of the Expendables. Like one-man martial arts Expendables, because he's just there, and it's just like, oh, John Wick 1, here are these characters. John Wick 2, here's some more characters. John Wick 3, here's some more characters, and it's like they're pulling out the big guns, and I just wait for that moment where like John Wick, like the final boss, the one who's really the one above the high table is just like, it's not no Ken. Like they go to Hong Kong, crack open the door, and Jackie Chan's just sitting there sipping tea, and he's just like, "You can turn back, John. You don't want me."
Wow. That'd be amazing if Jackie Chan is the be all and end all of everything in that world. That'd be amazing. That'd be really cool, actually. It wouldn't surprise me if they cast Carrie-Anne Moss at some point, or if she's not already done something on it, because why not? Everyone else in the Matrix.
You know what? It made me laugh, right? Because the woman who's in it, I can't.
Oh, the one with the bald hair.
Yeah. I was like, you look like Trinity.
Yeah. I reckon it was supposed to be her, or maybe not. But if she's not cast in John Wick 4, I'd be very surprised. But Donnie Yen, if it ends with Donnie Yen, very happy with that.
You know who I'd like? You know who I'd like to see in there?
Go on.
I'd like what's his face, Jin Zhang, to be in there, man.
Who's that?
Jin Zhang. He's in the Ip Man films. He's in the spin-off one as Master Z.
Max Zhang, isn't it? In the English name, Max.
Oh, is that his name in English? Okay.
Yeah, I just he's in that Prison Escape Plan 3 as well, wasn't he?
I never saw Escape Plan 3. I saw 2, and I was like, I'm out. But no, if you're looking at like new Hong Kong martial artists that like people don't know about, that guy's fucking good, man. He's fucking so good, man. Like, especially after when I watched Master Z as well, I was like, he's the next guy. He is the next guy. If he's not the next guy, fair enough, yeah. But he needs to be in more stuff, man. If he showed up in John Wick, man, that's gonna get a lot of like people from China watching that film, man.
I'd say him and Wu Jing, but him more.
Yeah, I think the rhetoric is changing on China at the moment. I think you'll start to see Hollywood films go back to pre-2000, the 2010s of what was going on. I was watching Midnight's Eye. Midnight's Eye? I think that's what it's called. Midnight's Edge. And the guy that they usually get, who's a Hollywood scriptwriter, was saying that the rhetoric now is if things are going backwards now. So no more pandering, it seems. Right.
We'll see.
That's just sent me something.
Oh, the guy I'm on about. He's in Pacific Rim. The new Uprising.
I didn't realise
I've not seen Pacific Rim.
But that's Escape Plan 3.
You haven't seen either of them, or you just haven't seen the latest one.
So what are we talking about now?
Pacific Rim.
Oh,
you said you haven't seen it yet. Like either of them.
I've not seen either of them. It wasn't something. I was so disillusioned because of Godzilla that I just didn't bother. But because it's Guillermo, I'll watch the first one at some point.
It is. I love it. I think it's a brilliant film, but I think it's a film that does what it says.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for, to be honest. Something that does.
I like them both.
Me too. Yeah,
I like them both. I know the second one's not as good as the first, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. Like, there wasn't anything that made me go, "This is a terrible movie." I thought it was fine.
I don't know. After watching lots of bad films over the years, you seem to be able to sniff them out.
I don't know. Ghostbusters,
Pacific Rim, the Uprising. The trailer didn't sell me, and so I just pulled back from it. It looked blue.
It looked what?
Blue. Guillermo del Toro's one had a lot of color, had a color scope in it.
Yeah.
The second one just looked blue. Let's put a blue haze on it, and that's all I saw. I was like, oh, okay. No.
To be fair, with the first Pacific Rim, it did what the first Godzilla, which
was supposed to
do. Yeah, exactly. That I felt that Godzilla failed. Because you didn't really see Godzilla in it, even though it's called Godzilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pacific Rim, you had the battles, you had the monsters, and yeah.
Yeah. That's still on Amazon, so I'll probably catch that at some point. Well, this brings us to the end of the show. Anything you guys want to talk about? Any leftovers that you want to? Any rogue agents?
Space Jam trailer just dropped.
Who cares?
Yeah.
We'll save that for next week.
I liked Space Jam, but I liked that as a 18-year-old. No, sorry, I was 17 when that came out. As a 17-year-old, it's great. It's
still a good film.
As a 42-year-old, I don't have any kids to watch it with.
Yeah.
So
Joe.
Yeah.
I ain't got no kids. I still love Space Jam.
No. Yeah. That's what I mean. I don't know what a news, because this one looks woke. So I don't.
Well, do you know what? Like, from the first trailer, I haven't seen this new one as it's just dropped, but from that first trailer, I think it did have one thing that because I was really, in my mind, I was like, how's it gonna work? Like, LeBron James is obviously, he's an amazing basketball player, but at the same time, he's not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was internationally known, whether you liked basketball or not. I don't think LeBron James' star is that high up.
It's not.
But isn't he the guy now?
No, he's not. He's just a famous.
He's just the legend that is there.
Boom. A basketball player. He's relatively famous.
I don't know about that, man. He's one of the top guys, man.
He's not, as someone who pays attention to basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he is obviously the highest legend that is there of the game currently playing.
He won't touch Jordan.
He's not that guy.
Jordan.
There are players who are. If you're interested in basketball, there are players who are far more noteworthy than he is at this moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, if they do another Space Jam, I guess it'll be another basketball player, or the basketball player of the moment. But I guess your argument is that Jordan is known everywhere. He just is. He's got trailers. He was the first guy to have trainers made after him, right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, is like LeBron. I think LeBron James was the natural progression because
Kobe's not there.
No, not even that, because don't forget they scheduled this movie while Kobe was still alive, and
Was it still with LeBron James or was it with Kobe?
It was always with LeBron James. Like the second they said they were going to do Space Jam 2 was always with LeBron James. But I think what it is because you can't really use Kobe because he had a very particular type of legacy.
Yeah.
And also, Unfortunately, he had a rather public case against him.
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, what I liked about the trailer for the first one was that it shows a different side. Because I think the first film was just banking on the fact that everyone in the world knew who Bugs Bunny was, and everyone in the world knew who Michael Jordan was. So it was like, no pun intended, a slam dunk. But with this one, I sort of like, it's very different. Like, you could, if you made a movie with David Beckham and Bugs Bunny, everyone knows who David Beckham is.
Yeah.
Right? But if they were like, okay, we're going to make a movie with Lionel Messi, it's like, yeah, if you like football, everyone knows who Lionel Messi is. But, like, if you stroll into River Island and ask, like, every single solitary person in the store, do you know who Lionel Messi is? Not everyone is saying yes.
Mm-hmm. It's that same equivalent, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Again, I'm not hating on the film, but don't get me wrong. It's my breath, because I saw the new trailer, the one that came out a month ago or so, and I was thinking, I remember when I saw this trailer, I was watching The Fifth Element, I think, and the trailer for it came on, and this looks interesting. This is kind of like Roger Rabbit, and that was what was in my mind.
You know what? That's the thing, though. I mean, Space Jam, both Space Jam and this one, both Space Jam and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, they were made by filmmakers that knew the source material, respected, the characters, and it wasn't a $1.05 for them. Robert Zemeckis on Roger Rabbit made a Robert Zemeckis movie. I can still watch Roger Rabbit now. It's a classic. It still holds up now. It holds up so good. Every frame of that movie is classic Robert Zemeckis, in the way that he frames it, the way that the style. Hell, it's even written by Bob Gale as well, that wrote Back to the Future. I mean, Christ's sake. It's almost one of a kind. And Space Jam kind of modernized it. You know what I mean? It kind of modernized it, and it's become a classic over the years, kind of thing. Because I remember when it came out, everyone was dissing it, and then over time, its legacy. No one talks about Looney Tunes back in action.
Yeah, I was about to
No one talks about Looney Tunes back in action.
Know what that is.
Exactly, that came out, that came and went. And the worst thing about that particular film, the director of that, he came on board and he actually genuinely cared about the characters. I forgot who the director was, but it's quite a well-known one. And it was a studio film. You know what I mean? It was a studio film. Like Warner Brothers were like, we're just pandering to the kids. We're not too bothered. The script wasn't that cooked. You know what I mean? Whatever. And that movie more or less took that genre and kind of buried it. You know what I mean?
That's completely buried it. It buried Brendan Fraser as well, didn't it?
Yeah.
No, I think that came a little bit afterwards. He was still hot. Then, which is why the film got made in the first place. But it was definitely beginning of the end for him.
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah, that was.
I like that, but that was bad.
No, it was not even that. The aftermath of that movie is his burial.
Yeah, and the worst thing about that got a franchise out of that due to The Rock, and it was like, where's the Fraser love, man? But that was a movie that did well though. So because it's called sequel, so I don't. That's something I got to look into where it was, but it was definitely around that time.
Yeah, well, it was that because Brandon Fraser basically he agreed to do the sequel, the one that featured The Rock.
Yeah,
but he was like, I'm not doing the sequel until the director is able to do it because the director was pulled away for another project.
Right.
So he was waiting for that director to come back.
He was loyal to the director.
And the studio was like, look, I ain't got time to wait for this director. We're ready to shoot this now. If you're not gonna do what we want, we'll get somebody else. I just guess he didn't realize that somebody else was gonna be The Rock.
Yeah. So that's just it, man.
Well,
that's just it. That genre, I guess there'll always be a space for it, but we'll have to see whether this movie's gonna be up there with the legacy of the original, or whether it's just gonna be another Looney Tunes back in action. So we'll see.
Okay, we'll talk about the trailer next week with the trailer reviews. That's it, guys. Anything to plug? Go on.
No, I don't have anything.
Well, there is another podcast. It's called My Dad Wrote a Porno. No, I'm just kidding.
Good podcast.
There's actually the podcast Creative Control, and you should definitely check that out. You can find that on YouTube. You can find that on all good podcast services. So that's Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That's the one that's slipping my mind. You can find it pretty much wherever you want to get your podcast from, and you'll enjoy it. If you like this and you sat with us through all this time, then you are absolutely going to love that.
Yes. So that's Creative Control on YouTube. Put where the podcasts are, and you can also find the Zedosgang movie podcast. Play it in places. Go for it or not. How about it? If you do like this, do something. There's something that YouTube likes you to do. Have at it. I don't mind.
The thing that looks like this, do this. Just click it.
Yeah.
The thing that doesn't, click it.
Go for it. I don't, because I see so many YouTubers doing it. I really hate saying it. So I don't like pandering to people. Pandering is the wrong word. I don't like badgering. Because so many do it, and they always do it right at the beginning, right in the middle, and at the end. Come on, man! Don't give some people some credit. If they like it, they'll thumbs up it, man. Jesus Christ!
No, I don't give people that level of credit. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna poke the bear. Do it.
Okay, cool. You heard it here first. This has been the Zedosgang podcast, guys, and we're out. Go on, do it. Come on.
I am the man that killed Jamie Lannister.